Apple is so yesterday. Today is about Android Pay, and drones get a governor's pardon. Tech News Tonight is next.
This is Twit.
This is Tech News Tonight, episode 421 for Thursday, September 10th, 2015. This episode is brought to you by the new Epson Workforce printers powered by Precision Core. Workforce is an award-winning line of all-in-one printers for your home office, small to large business, or corporate work groups. Visit Epson.com to find out more. Welcome. I am Megan Maroney. After the break, we'll talk to Mac expert Jim Dalrymple of Loopinsight about his experiences and hands-on impressions at the Apple event yesterday. But first, let's get to today's tech news. Congratulations, Android users. Now you too can get the stink eye from suspicious grocery clerks all over the United States. According to the official Android blog, Android Pay will start rolling out their tap-to-pay smartphone payment system today at over 1 million locations across the United States. There will surely be some hiccups and the aforementioned suspicious clerks who are not yet aware that the future is here, but I, for one, welcome mobile payments in all their time-saving glory. Android Pay works with all NFC-enabled Android devices running KitKat 4.4 or higher on any mobile carrier. The app will also store your gift cards, your loyalty cards, and your special offers. In other rollout news, Microsoft announced that Office 2016 will be out on September 22nd, and the newest version of the Mac OS, El Capitan, will be available on September 30th. A few weeks ago, we told you that an unnecessarily restrictive drone bill was headed to Governor Brown's desk here in California. Senate Bill 142 would have prohibited people from flying drones lower than 350 feet above private property without getting permission first. The bill was meant to address valid privacy concerns, but it was a bit overreaching, in my humble opinion. Governor Brown vetoed the bill today, saying that he believed it would have unintended consequences. Brown recognized the novel issues that drones bring up, but said that this legislation would have exposed hobbyists and FAA-approved commercial users to burdensome litigation. Mashable says that for the first time, cord cutters can watch the upcoming Republican debate live for free, if you're into that sort of thing. CNN will stream the Republican presidential debate on September 16th, and you don't need to have cable to watch it. You can also watch it on any device with a web connection. This is obviously very considerate of CNN from a political awareness perspective, but the last debate was also quite a not-to-be-missed show that brought in 24 million viewers. Coming up, we will delve deep into the world of Peek and Pop, and Pokemon gets a wearable. But first, this episode is brought to you by the new Epson Workforce printers powered by Precision Core. The new Epson Workforce printers use ink, not laser toner, and they're more efficient. Epson developed new print chip nozzles they call Precision Core. The high-resolution Epson print chips are one of the fastest inkjet printing technologies in the world. Workforce printers make mobile device printing easy with work group connectivity and incredible dependability that you know from Epson. Epson Workforce printers help you cut costs without compromising quality and keep your business moving forward. Go to Epson.com today and find out what the new Workforce printers can do for you and your business. That's EPSON.com. Epson, built to perform. Yesterday was Apple's big event in San Francisco, and our guest tonight was there. Welcome, Jim Dalrymple, longtime Mac commentator and editor-in-chief of Loopinsight. Welcome back, Jim.
Thanks, Megan.
So I know yesterday our team grabbed you right out of the event so you could tell us everything on MacBreak Weekly, but now you've had a chance to sleep on it. What are your overall thoughts on what Apple announced yesterday?
You know, it's funny when you look at the number of things that were released that they didn't even really get a chance to talk about. It's huge. It was a huge event yesterday. iPhone, iPad Pro, Apple TV, and then an iPhone upgrade program and watchOS and tvOS. Just so many things that happened yesterday. It's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, they usually break it into two events, but I guess they were just going to throw everything at us. We didn't really hear anything about the Mac. They didn't even really go over iOS 9 that gets released next week. I mean, I guess presumably we already know. We've downloaded the beta if we wanted to, or, we've heard about it. But so let's start with the phones. This is the S model year for the phone. That means they don't really change a whole lot on the outside. But they did make some pretty big changes to the hardware. What were your thoughts on the new 3D Touch feature?
You know, 3D Touch is one of those things when you first see it that you think that's kind of cool. But when you start to see how you're going to use it, you realize that it's actually a new way to navigate through your smartphone. So, you know, even if you're going to check a mail message, you open up mail, you tap on the message, you realize it's something that you want to check later on your computer or when you have more time. So then you go to the menu and unread, and then back yourself all the way back out to the home screen again. You know, and with 3D Touch, you can do a lot of things right from wherever you are. And that was going to save us a lot of time. You know, it really is kind of a new way to get through and navigate through your apps and messages.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, great for taking emergency selfies, as they showed yesterday.
Yes.
But that is one feature. The shortcut with the camera shortcut. I use that all the time. Currently, because that's the moment where you miss it. If you have to go all the way, where's my camera app? Let me open it up. Let me go to photo. So yeah, I guess I can totally see how that can be useful. So they talked about two things. They went through them quickly. One was a peak, and one was a pop.
Right.
Do you know the difference? What's a peak?
Okay, so if you're in a mail message and you just put a bit of pressure on the mail message and press down, a peek is like a preview. So the message will pop up so you can have a look at it. So if I see a message from Megan and it says, you know, important, and I just press on it a little bit, it'll peek up, and, you know, the important could be, I need to talk to you about tomorrow's interview. Okay, I don't need to deal with that right now because I'm with Johnny and Tim, and, you know, we're having a Heineken, so I can deal with this later. I let it go, and it goes back to the original state, and everything's great. If it's something I need to talk to you right now, and then when you peek at it, you can press a little bit more, and the message pops up. So then you can interact with the message. You know, so you can reply to it, or I can say, you know, Johnny and Tim and I are having a beer, not a good time, whatever.
I use Force Touch on the Apple Watch to get rid of notifications, change Apple Watch faces. I'm sure there are other uses. I have not seen them yet. Is 3D Touch different than that?
3D Touch is a little bit different because you have a little bit of Force Touch and some new things in there as well. So, you know, when you look at 3D Touch, you can even use, you know, the pencil and how it reacts with different pressure and how it reacts when you lay it down a little bit and use a bigger line. But even just with the touch of the finger, 3D Touch allows you to do more things on the phone than Force Touch allows you to do on the watch. So it's all about pressure, really, and the sensitivity of what you're getting with the pressure. So, you know, whether it's addresses like you're showing now on the screen, or mail messages or selfies, you know, the more pressure you put, different things happen. And that's kind of what you expect when even people that are using Force Touch, I think, will be very used to using 3D Touch.
Yeah, I think it'll take getting used to for some people, probably. So they changed the camera too. It has 12 megapixels. What else did they do for improvements in the camera?
Well, the camera, they now have live photos. And, you know, it's important to say that megapixels are not the only thing. You know, you can have a 12 megapixel camera that actually takes poor pictures or gives you poor picture quality. So the fact that they optimized the sensors and the way that the image is processed so that you get the best picture possible, and that's very important. You know, and when you're looking at consumer features, you have live photos. So live photos snaps about a second and a half before and after your picture. So your picture is not just, you know, a moment in time, I think is what Apple says on its website. It's actually a little bit before and a little bit after. So your picture is kind of like a small movie, but it's not a movie. It's still an image. And I think that's really great. I mean, a lot of people are going to have fun with that. I'm going to have fun with that. I can't even take pictures that well, but I'll still have fun with that.
Yeah, so as soon as you raise up the phone, then it starts to take pictures, or once you focus, or once it focuses, autofocuses. How do you know how that works?
Yeah, once you focus and then press the button, it starts. So usually when you press a button to take a picture, it'll snap the picture, and there's a bit of a delay. Now there won't be a delay because now you're getting a bit before and a bit after, and you'll be able to, I don't know, stream it, or you'll be able to see it like you would a movie, which is very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I know they talked about yesterday that you could share them in Facebook, but I wonder if you'd be able to send them to someone on Android, or did you hear anything about that?
I don't know. Yeah. Do people use Android?
I don't know. I guess they still do.
Wow.
Maybe this will get everyone to finally switch over and spend that $700 on a new phone.
Or they could just wait for Samsung to copy what Apple's doing and, use that, because that's what Samsung does.
Yeah, I think sometimes it happens on both sides, though, right?
Yeah. More one way than the other, though.
So let's move on before we start getting in trouble with Android users. More trouble.
Or Leo's going to come in and, then we're going to end up in just a battle.
Right. Well, he's in New York, but he could possibly hear us, and then there would be trouble. So let's move on to Apple TV. They claimed that the Apple TV is the future of TV. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited about letting Siri find me all the Matthew McConaughey movies ever made while I'm still sitting on the couch waiting for it to happen. But was that it? I mean, will Apple TV solve the problem of me having to subscribe to Netflix and Amazon Prime and still never having anything to watch?
See, if what Apple means by the future of TV is the MLB app, which was very, very cool. I love the way that MLB lets you watch live games, and then you can switch to another game. It'll alert you when something happens in another game that's important to you. It has stats. It's very interactive, and that I agree. If that's the future of Apple TV and the future of TV, I'm all in. I'm 100% there. But fundamentally, what we see as what we want as the future of TV, I think, as people that don't want a subscription to satellite or cable TV, we want a way to watch our TV when we want to watch it and not be bothered with those subscriptions. I'd very happily purchase a bundle of stations, channels, apps, whatever you want to call them, and watch that instead of having cable. But they didn't address that yesterday, and I think they kind of addressed it by showing off MLB and very soon an NHL app. So if that's the way it's going to go, I think it's going to be great. Casual gaming on an Apple TV will be great for a certain segment of the population. Lots of people, I think, will like that. The Siri remote is brilliant, works really well. You can now swipe and move around and ask Siri to find you things that perhaps wouldn't be found before in a regular search. Like, Siri, show me movies made in the 80s with Matthew McConaughey, or, something like that. So I think it's going to be great. And when you look at it, Apple gave us another new way to navigate through our content. And that's what we want. The search that goes across iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, that's brilliant. I love that. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but if I go to watch a movie, I'll check on iTunes. Yes, it's there. It costs $5.99 to rent. Oh, wait, is it in Netflix? Then I'll go, you back all the way out, go to the main menu, go to Netflix, go in there, search. No, it's not there. Sometimes it's just easier just to, rent it from iTunes and be done with it, because it's a hassle to go all the way in and then all the way back out again. And this is going to make things a lot easier. Siri, show me, whatever movie, The Firm, or, and it brings it up. and here are the places that you can watch it. That is great.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking before the show, it's like these are the kinds of things we have to have in our living room. We have to start using them to be able to tell whether they're going to fit our lifestyle or not. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. I mean, because the cord cutting, the promise of cord cutting was that I wouldn't have to pay for all of these channels that I don't want. And I feel that way that I'm paying for a lot of things with Amazon Prime and Netflix and, HBO Go, but I'm still getting a lot of movies that I will never watch and that are just, that are just thrown in there as part of the deal. And it feels like, 1997 all over again.
Well, you say that like that's when I was a kid. No.
Well, I wasn't a kid in 1997, but I'm an adult. So let's move on. Yesterday, I got an email. Well, this is still about Apple TV from a viewer who said he didn't see a computer app in any of the demos during yesterday's keynote. Yes. And I don't know if you saw that. He was wondering if he'd still be able to watch all of his DVDs that he's ripped onto his computer. And did you happen to see a way to do that yesterday?
I did not see a way to do that. And if you look at the Apple TV page on apple.com, it doesn't appear that there's a way to do that there. I mean, it shows a comparison between old Apple TV and new Apple TV, and it doesn't seem like it's there. So I don't know yet what the story is there. I hope to find out, though.
It would be weird if they wouldn't let us stream from our computers anymore using Apple TV, but...
Well, it would be kind of weird because, it's another Apple device. This is what we do. But, yeah, that would be kind of weird.
So now John Gruber from Daring Fireball, he has a different idea about the Apple TV. He really believes that, he believes it's the most disruptive Apple product since the iPhone. And I'm not sure, I mean, what do you think there's anything really disruptive about it at this point?
Well, I think that John is talking about future. And yes, in the future, if apps are like MLB, then I believe he's probably right. This could be one of the most disruptive devices that Apple has put out. The problem that Apple is going to have is getting those networks to come on board, whether it's HBO or Showtime, getting them to come on board with apps like MLB did. And like I said, if they do, I'll gladly pay for those because those were really cool apps. I really like that. But can they do that? And I think that's where the cord cutter's dream comes in is, okay, I want HBO, I want Showtime, I want Netflix, and, USA Network. Other than that, I don't need anything else, so I'll just buy those.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that what he's trying to say is that the saying Apple TV is that's not so great is the same thing as all the people that said that about the iPad when it came out. Like,
Right. The point I was trying to get across in my story that I posted today is that maybe I misunderstood Apple when they said that this is the future of TV, because to me, the future of TV means being able to access the content that I want when I want. And they didn't address that. So maybe they're talking that this is, the first iteration of the future of TV. And what you saw with MLB is the way that things are going to work in the future. Okay, then I agree with them. I agree with Gruber on that. I don't think that we're there yet. I think it's going to take a while for this platform to take off. And, what it needs right now to take off are developers to make apps. That's going to be an important part for them to make apps for Apple TV.
Right. And that's sort of what we're waiting for with the Apple Watch, too. I mean, better apps. So
sure.
Maybe we'll see that next. So let's talk about the iPad. I know you're looking forward to the iPad Pro, as am I. Now, it's, a foot-long iPad, 10-hour battery life. It just is amazing.
Yes.
Now, you say you use your iPad Air 2 and your iPad Mini 3 a lot. Yes. Do you use them for work or productivity or just for fun? I guess when I say work, not like music, I mean like writing, what
not real. I'm not a big gamer. So I used to be until my son turned about 9 and he started kicking my butt at every game that we played. So then fine. I would let him win when he was young, and he wouldn't let me win when he got better than I did. So, then
that comes like maybe in 10 more years.
Yeah, he beat me like 30-0. So in a hockey game. So I'm not a gamer, but I do use the iPad Mini. For instance, if I go to a coffee shop or something like that, and it's just I'm relaxing, I'm doing some research for a story or something, my iPad Mini works great. If I'm home at night, at the end of the day, you put the computer down because sometimes you just have to put the computer down. I'll use my iPad. And, again, just a bit of research. Split screen really helps with that in iOS 9. And that's how I use the two of them. So they both have their advantages in size. And, I utilize the two of them like that. Now I'm interested to see where iPad Pro is going to fit into that.
Yeah, so, I think that we all are. And it's, again, going to be something that we're going to have to take home and play with and see how it works in our life.
Right.
Because it's our job.
Exactly.
Well, Jim, thank you so much. Jim Dalrymple is the editor-in-chief of Loopinsight. He's at jdalrymple on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Megan. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye.
And finally, tonight, the Pokemon Company held a press conference in Tokyo today to announce a new wearable for Pokemon Go, an augmented reality version of the game. The Pokemon wearable appears to be like a teardrop-shaped piece of plastic. It has a band, I think. I guess you could just keep it in your pocket or wear it on your wrist. It connects with your iPhone or your Android phone to play the game in the real world. The video that we're watching, if you're watching the video version on YouTube, is complete with soaring music, beautiful young people playing an AR version of the game with their smartphones. It looks amazing, but I think this is one of those I'll believe it when I see it sort of things. I don't even think that this video is meant to even portray what it's like in the real world. If it is kind of scary. The game will come out at some point in 2016. And one thing that is definitely for sure, any parent who has gotten used to telling their kids go outside and play as a way to limit their video game play better come up with a different solution to that problem. And that's it for this edition of Tech News Tonight. If you missed our coverage of the Apple event yesterday, you can still watch it at twit.tv/specials. And you can find all the ways to subscribe to the show at twit.tv/TN2. You can write to us at tn2@twit.tv. And you can watch live every weekday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Thanks to James for writing in yesterday and asking if we wait to start this show until the show before it has finished. We do wait. We try to stay on schedule, but yesterday we were running a little late because of the Apple event. You'll always see something good on the Twit Live channel, though, and you can always watch on demand if you subscribe. And don't miss our morning news program, Tech News Today, every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm Megan Maroney. Thanks for watching.
Bandwidth for Tech News Tonight is brought to you by CashFly.com.